What's up, guys? Kurt Hughes here with Ignite Baseball. One of the things that I hear said about really good hitters all the time is that they have really fast hands or really quick hands. I think that having quick hands is a good thing, but the time at which you use those quick hands is tremendously important. And because of that, using like the words quick hands to describe a good swing or as something to think about if you are a hitter really kind of often will break our kinematic sequence and not allow us to use our kinetic chain properly in our swing. So let's first understand what the kinematic sequence is. So in hitting, we want our hips to go first, create a stretch across our core. We then want to shorten that stretch, so I'm creating distance between my hip and my front shoulder, my front hip and my back shoulder. And when I go to swing, I want to try to unstretch that as fast as I can by turning my shoulder, and that's going to turn my barrel into the zone and allow me to then release my hands wherever I want. So the order that we want to see as far as hip speed, shoulder speed, and hand speed, we want to see our peak hip speed first. So we want to rotate our hips first. We want to see our peak shoulder speed second, and then we want to see our peak hand speed third. And essentially what usually happens when people think about having quick hands is they'll get right here, they won't let their kinematic sequence develop, and they'll just shoot their hands out. So they'll get their peak hand speed at the wrong time. So we want to have quick hands, but we want to have quick hands late. We want our hands to be quick as an adjustment tool once our chest is already turned. So the way that we should use our hands in our swing is once we get into our turn like this, we're going to get here and then our hands can go fast to whatever direction the ball is. We don't want our hands to go boom right away and disconnect from the rest of our body, because that is really going to force us to not hit away pitches very well. It's going to feel like you're not powerful at all on away pitches, because instead of turning your body and getting your barrel to go fast this way to hit those pitches, did you see how my hips and shoulders took everything over that time? What ends up happening is I'll go like this to hit those pitches. I'm not in a very supported position, so when the ball hits me, I'm not going to be able to create a nice wall for the ball to bounce off, because my hands are just going on their own. And when my hands go first, my barrel doesn't want to turn. It'll lay out like this. So any ball that I hit this way will be like a glancing blow to opposite field, or it'll just feel like I don't have anything behind it. So what do we want to actually do on away pitches? We want to make sure that our kinematic sequence develops, our body turns, and we release our barrel out in the direction of the ball that we want to hit, or in the direction that we want to hit the ball. And if we just think quick hands and don't think about trying to get our body going, then we're going to hit a lot of those glancing blows, and we're not really going to get the results that we want. So a better cue to think about is slow hands, fast body. Because if I think about going slow with my hands and allowing my body to do the thing that starts my barrel, then the quickness of my hands later will just take over as like a natural instinct as the ball is coming in. So if I think about I'm going to go slow with my hands and rotate my body, a lot of the things that we're looking for in our kinematic sequence, meaning hips, shoulders, hands, will take over and do exactly what we want. Now, what's a drill that we can work on to make sure that we're doing this right, to quality check whether or not we're sequencing properly? So I have a fence or a net right here, okay? I'm gonna put my foot right up against it. This is a drill that the guys over at Baseball Rebellion do all the time. I use it a lot too. It's a really, really good one. So what this does, what this fence or net does, it takes away space. So I can't use the space out here to hit the ball. Now, if I were to go with my hands first, or if I were to think quick hands and not let my kinematic sequence develop, I would shoot my hands like that, my hands would hit this, and my bat would be lagging. So I would know right away that, oh, I didn't turn my barrel in a tight space, I just kind of shot my hands out at it. What we want to do is we want to keep our hands back behind us and think slow hands, fast body, and we'll turn our body, and that'll get our bat into the way of the ball. That'll make sure that our kinematic sequence is correct, and also make sure that we're able to get our barrel in the way of the ball back behind us, which is necessary for those away pitches. I hope this helped you guys. I'm not saying that having quick hands is a bad thing. What I am saying is that if you think that, okay, I'm gonna have quick hands, I'm gonna have quick hands, I'm gonna have quick hands, that has the potential to kind of like messing up your kinetic chain. And I see this a lot. Like, I'll have hitters that'll work with me for like, 5 or 6 months, and they'll kind of get it figured out where they're generating a lot of power and they're using their kinematic, or they're using their body correctly and creating the proper kinematic sequence to be able to generate, balls that are hit for power to all fields. And then they'll get into like a season and they'll be cued that they need to like really use their hands a lot. So they do that to try to satisfy what their coach is looking for. And what ends up happening is they come back to me with an exit velocity that's like 7 or 8 miles an hour less than what it had before, and with lack of ability to be able to go oppo with any sort of power. And that's just because they're not using their body properly, which makes the mass of their swing go lower. When the mass of your swing is lower, you're not able to generate as much force, and we have a lot of problems. So it's really important, guys, to understand that when we think about quick hands, if that's not happening after our hips and shoulders turn, then it's the wrong cue. If you're someone who can turn without even thinking about it, you can do your turn perfectly every time, get your hips and shoulders to sequence, then quick hands might be a really good cue for you. But if you overthink it, and that's the thing that you're thinking about all the time, that does have the potential to kind of mess you up. So keep that in mind. It's not the best cue for everyone. I usually prefer for the general population slow hands, fast body, so that way our hands delay the way they're supposed to, and our body does the right stuff.